So welcome back, guys. Today we have Vishal Bhaiya with us. So he's from fourth year avionics branch, and he will tell about all his college life and branch. So let's begin.
Okay, so hi guys, I'm Vishal Kumar. I'm currently a student in fourth year of Electronics and Communication branch, and I've been a student. I'm a student of the 2017 batch, that is the 11th graduating batch of IST. And things are pretty cool here. It's a pretty cool branch and a pretty good place if you want to learn electronics. So thank you.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for coming. And so let's begin with the questions. So first question is about what a student can expect in this college taking electronics branch. So can you answer this question?
Okay, so first of all, now it has been named as Electronics and Communication Engineering. Earlier it was named as avionics, like avionics, aviation electronics, which is the full form of that. So there was a lot of confusion among students of the previous batches. Like people, there was a lot of confusion about the future, about the scope of the subject, what to study or what to not. But right from its beginning, also like from the course, even like from the beginning when the course started, it was dedicated to electronics, but with a different name. A little bit specialization was there to the aviation part, but it's more or less it's like the basic electronics and communication course which we see in normal IITs and or in any other engineering college as of that matter. It is nothing much different. In fact, it is a kind of more, because here there are a lot of projects. For example, a nanosat project is there, and the course curriculum also, it's very rigorous. So it's a bit hectic also, if you say that. But it's like in a way I would like to say it helps in the overall development. It helps in a better understanding of the subject, and compared to other IITs also, it is kind of good. And I've talked to a few students of my who are doing like electronics and communication in IIT Madras, Bombay, and other colleges also. They are pretty much the same. The courses are pretty much same, and it's very well, and it's a very good thing to start with. So there should not be any confusion about aviation. It's like normal ECE course which we see in any of the colleges.
Okay. So next question is about what are the internship opportunities in this branch?
Okay, so the one of the best thing about IST is the student to faculty ratio is pretty good here. Like compared to any other colleges, as far as my knowledge, the student to faculty ratio, like in a central government college, is one of the best here. I'm not talking about the best, one of the best here. What happens is that the professors which are working on different projects, you can work with them directly. So as a student to faculty ratio is very good here. So I said that the teacher will be having at max 4 or 5. In case if a faculty is more popular, he might be having 4 or 5, or his project is more popular, he might be having at max 5 students under him. So you get a pretty good chance to interact with him, a good chance to learn. And as this college is a center of ISRO, so getting internships in any of the ISRO center, you just have to name it. You just exposure to Indian Space Research Organization or to ISRO centers is very much good here. And apart from that also, like the way in which our courses are designed and the way in which we learn, we get many of the people are able to get internships elsewhere also. Like in my batch also, as I remember, 2 students from our batch, they were working on the nanosat project, and they got the opportunity to go to Colorado, US. In Colorado University, US, they had a joint venture with them, so they were able to get that opportunity here. And further, if I would like to elaborate more, that 2 branch topper, but the branch, like the elite person of the branch who are very good in the subject, they get an opportunity to go and do an internship at JPL. All the 3 branches, not only electronics, aerospace, and EP also, they get a chance to go and do an internship at NASA JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which is a pretty good opportunity over there. So that is a thing also here. And also the branch toppers of respective branches like aerospace and avionics, they get to do their masters from Caltech, California Institute of Technology. So it's a pretty good opportunity. The student faculty ratio is pretty good. So if you want, if you want to get a good technical expertise, a good subject knowledge, I think this is the best college for you.
Okay, so can you elaborate about the syllabus of avionics branch?
Okay, so as we know, there are 8 semesters like a normal engineering course. First semester consists of a mathematics course, a physics course, and you have a course like introduction to aerospace engineering. talking of my year, like the curriculum is like that. So you get an insight into what is aerospace engineering. You get a course, and you get a like full course, not like average course, something like that, not a partial one. You get a full course on what is aerospace engineering, and irrespective of branch, everyone has to study the same thing. So there is maths, there is chemistry, there is physics, there is aerospace engineering. As I told you, there is a subject called communication skills, conducted by the develop some basic skills required like presentation, how to present, how to learn, and how to communicate your ideas, something like that. There's that course. So like pretty much, yeah, these are the 6 courses which are there in the first semester which we have. And when you come to the second semester, the same thing is there: physics, chemistry, math, just the advanced version of the second part of that. And instead of aerospace engineering, we have an avionics course over there, like the basic electronics engineering course. So by the end of the first year, you get a pretty good insight about both the branches which you will be heading to. And the second course, we have a basic engineering graphic course, which you have in normal engineering college also. The labs are there: basic mechanical engineering lab, electronics lab, physics lab, chemistry lab. All the labs which happen are there. And like once you cross your first year, from the third sem onwards, for third sem onwards, we go into deep electronics, like specialized electronics and communication branch. The branches are separated, like electronics and EP, and which people all they carry on different courses. We have a maths course till semester 5. Like I think this is one of the only institutes in India which provides a mathematics course till semester 5. Rest in all colleges they end at semester 4. So as I mentioned earlier, you get a pretty deep knowledge of the subject. So there are a lot of courses. Some like to mention a few, in third sem we have a course called electromagnetic and wave propagation, which is related to the RF domain. So it's a very good course, and that is the course which due to which I found my interest in the RF domain. So like basically, see, electronics is divided into 2 or 3 domains. One is signal processing, one is the electrical part, the proper electrical part, and the third is the RF. The electronics part, we have computer networking, computer architecture and organization in the 5th sem. In the RF part, we have basics of electromagnetics, as I said, in the 3rd sem. And after that, after the 6th sem also, we get to choose. Like in all these sems, you have a institute, you have a course from humanities department. Like in 3rd sem, you have economics, 4th sem, you have ethics, and like that. 5th sem, you have environmental science. In your 6th sem, you get to choose one elective. As for EC, I know aerospace might be different. So you get to choose an elective, and you can choose in any domain. There are RF courses, there are VLSI courses, there are electrical courses, electronics courses. All the courses are listed over there. Like I chose radio frequency integrated circuits, RFICs. And then after 6th sem, you get an internship. As I mentioned earlier, you can do an internship as you like. And 7th sem consists of 4 electives. One has to be the institute elective, which can be of EC also. You get to choose any of the electives, like that is named as institute elective. And there are 3 department electives. And in 3 department electives, you can choose either of the 3, like whatever you want. Like I chose deep learning for, like I like the ML part a bit, coding and something, so I chose deep learning. RF was my part, so I went for analog VLSI, and the rest 2 were humanities courses. Like I like space economics, which is taught by V.K. Dadwal, the director of the institute. So this is the pretty much thing. And the 8th sem or the last sem, like compared to the 7th sem, the 8th sem it consists of 15 credits. Just you have to do a project, 12 credit project, which has to be very good, so that you earn good credits in that. And there is a 3 credit comprehensive viva, in which all the things which you have studied till now, only a subject part from 3rd semester onward, all the faculties which have taught you, they carry on their viva to get your basic understanding of the subject. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a pretty like vast, tedious and hectic course if you see. And this is the like a brief overview or the like a brief detailed syllabus which we have. Rest I think you can go to the website and you can check in detail what are the syllabus offered. But this, as far as I know, as I remember, this is the detailed version.
Okay, Bhaiya, thank you.